Welcome to Reset the Healthier Relationships Sunday night at 9. I am your host, Coach Glenda, here with my co-host, Coach Carpenter. We are so excited about this evening. Actually, this weekend is the 4th of July weekend. Want to hope everybody had a very safe and very fun 4th of July weekend with your family and friends. Also, as always, we want to say thank you for making a sacrifice to join us on Sunday night at 9. I know that, it takes a lot from us because some of us have to go to work on Monday morning, but we do really appreciate your sacrifice on Sunday night at 9. Also, I would like to say before we get started in tonight's topic, I want to say congratulations to Wanda. She's getting married this upcoming Saturday. I am so excited for you. I am praying that you have a long lasting, fulfilling relationship with your husband. I hope everything goes as you anticipated. And I want you to continue to, if you don't mind, I want you to continue to join us on Sunday night at 9. So if you ever come across any hurdles, you can reach out to us and we can walk you through, talk you through, coach you through any issues that you may have. But I want to say congratulations, and I just wish you guys have a very successful and pleasant marriage. Okay. Also, tonight's topic is another good one. When survival comes, your identity, grieving for years you spent existing instead of living. When survival becomes your identity, grieving the years you spent existing instead of living. Now, for me, I feel as if we we just go through the motions just for a season. We just try to, do everything we can for everybody else, and our personal needs fall by the wayside. So are we just grieving the years that we have been just existing, or have we been living our life because we've been living our life for everybody else versus ourselves? So, in tonight's session of Sunday Night at Night, I'm going to answer the question: have I been surviving for so long that I've forgotten how to truly live? Have you been doing that? I know I did that once upon a time, but I don't do that anymore. If this is your first time here, welcome. It's great to see you. This is a safe place where we have honest conversations. I'm sorry, I'm letting people in. I apologize. We have honest conversations about love, relationship, healing, and choosing ourselves again. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we post new content. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So again, tonight's topic for the ones that are just chiming in: when survival becomes your identity, grieving the years you spent existing instead of living. This can also be interpreted as, you've been living your life for everybody else and you put your life on hold, trying to take care of your mama, your auntie, your husband, your kids, and you just really let yourself fall by the wayside. You're no longer a priority. And then after everybody done went to their next level, gone on to their next chapter, you're like, what about me? Did you forget about yourself? Sometimes we do, but that should not be the case. All right. So, Mr. Carpenter, I'm going to take a few minutes out and allow you to share a couple of words before we dive into tonight's content.
Good evening, everybody. And once again, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here tonight to be with you because this topic tonight is unique in the fact that a lot of people don't realize this is a problem. A lot of people think they're strong. I can do it. You can rely on me. I got you. I got your back. I'm your ride or die. And they don't see a problem.
Access your camera from device menu settings, privacy.
Okay. You with us, Wanda? I heard something about the device manual. Yeah. Now, a lot of people, once again, a lot of people go through this and they think this is strong. In their mind, this is strong. I'm a hero. There's no problem here. I got my family, I got their back, my husband's back, my boyfriend's back, or whatever. They don't see a problem. The only thing is that they don't realize they're burning all their resources, they're burning all their energy, they're burning all their visions for life. Everything is poured into everybody else, and nothing coming back to them. Yes, you can. At the end of the day, they can say, "Whoo, I got a lot done. I helped my family. I helped this. I helped this. I helped that. I helped this. I helped that." But what did you do to push your agenda forward? You're gonna tell me, "No, Rufus, you don't understand. My agenda was to get everybody else forward." Okay, there lies the problem. When you're so busy trying to push everybody else forward and push that can up the road for everybody else, and you're not including yourself in the mix, that's the problem. And you've done it so long, it don't seem like a problem. That's your way of life. You're in a rut. When Coach Glenda said you grieve the years you spent instead of living your life. Now the younger generation, now they're living a life. They're traveling, they're doing things, they're getting side hustles, they're getting entrepreneurship, they're doing all kind of stuff. But that 45 to 65 range, they're not. They're so ingrained and they've done it so long, that's all they know. As a matter of fact, a lot of people in the age bracket, when the kids go off to college or when things happen, it's just them in the house by themselves or them or their significant other in the house by themselves, they're lost. What are we going to do? Because they're spent so much of their life taking care of everybody else, surviving for everybody else and not for themselves. And I just want to get that out there, Coach Glenda, before we start, because I want people to step back and survey your life. Survey what's been happening the last 5 years, the last 3 years. How many times have you put you forward and your agenda forward? How many times have you put your stuff in the back burner? Or how many times you've taken your budget, your saving, and invested in someone else's dream instead of your dream? That's what the night is about. The night is about, let's put you first. Now, I'm not saying be selfish and shut everybody else out. That's not what we're saying tonight. The night what we're saying is you matter too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I turn it back over to you, Coach Glenda, because I can talk about this all night.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Coach Carpenter. Survival is not a weakness. It was your body's way of protecting you, but many women never receive permission to leave survival mode. Many women never receive permission to leave survival mode. Instead, they become known as the strong one, the dependable one, the one everybody calls on, the one who always figures everything out. Is that you? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever, does that ring a bell to you? Does it resonate with you that that's me? That's what I've been doing. Eventually, they stop asking themselves, what do I need? You put yourself on a back burner. And if that is you, you are at the right place at the right time tonight. All right, we're going to start off with an illustration. We have Angela. She's age 47 years old. Angela spent 20 years raising children, mostly on her own, while helping care for her aging mother. She worked full-time, paid the bills, never missed a responsibility. Everyone admired her strength. One day someone asked, "What do you enjoy doing?" She couldn't answer. She realized she hadn't lived herself in over 20 years. Now, see, that's a long time. 20 years of taking care of other people, and you don't even know what you want when somebody asks you, what do you enjoy doing? What do you like to do for fun?
And that's what I was saying earlier when I had that little conversation from the beginning. In her mind, she may not have missed anything. In her mind, she was doing her duty. In her mind, that's what she was created for. That's her purpose.
Right.
In her mind, that was the best way she could have spent her time.
At that time.
In her mind at the time.
Right.
Let's pick through that for a little bit. You said it was 20 years she did this.
Raising children mostly on her own while
Mhm.
help caring for her aging mother.
Wow.
So her
Think of
hands were full. Her hands were full.
if I put myself in her shoes in that circumstance, I don't have time for nothing else. The reason why I couldn't do anything else, that's a full load. That's a full load. So, right. So hopefully, when somebody asked her, what do you like doing yourself? That started her thinking.
Right.
Because a lot of times we think we're the only solution for the problem. We may be the best solution or a solution, but we're not the only solution. When we said taking care of her aging mother, was she the best solution or the only solution? Now, raising her kids, and she did it by herself, was that the only solution or was that the best solution? Or was the best practice? These are the things we have to ask ourselves, because if you're the strong one in the family and you always come to everybody's need, you can say, I got it. So the solution is always, I got it. You getting it all right. And, so let's talk about that for a little bit.
Okay.
When you see that, I know first thing you say, hey, you admire Angela, because Angela, she's a champ. She stuck it out. She did the thing. So we're gonna admire her for that. But let's talk about her. Let's talk about where she lost her in this.
Mhm.
How could what would we say in a situation like this? What kind of advice would we give her?
So, good evening. I would like to say in this, why do we feel that she lost herself? Why do we think that in the midst of her doing all of this, she lost herself? Because I don't think people always lose themselves in this type of situation. I mean, there could be a situation where they just do everything for everybody else and they don't take time for themselves. But maybe they do. And maybe when they're asked that question, well, what do you do for fun? Um, Maybe they don't consider that their fun, but maybe it's what they would enjoy. Like maybe that person takes time out to just go get their hair done or go get their nails done or go to the gym or maybe just go to a movie. That might be enjoyment for them, but are you going to measure it up because you don't consider it, oh, she hasn't taken a trip or she hasn't gone here or there, she's haven't jet set it. It's dependent on that could be her enjoyment.
Okay.
Or his enjoyment, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you could. Anyone want to address that? Anyone else want to address that?
Well, I would like to say, I raised 7 kids by myself, and that was like a part of my life where I was enjoying life. So, I mean, I still got to do what I wanted to do, either with or without the kids. But at that time, I didn't feel like I was, what you say, surviving and not living. But then I took a turn. I had one of my daughters was murdered in 2020, and that's when I did feel like, I was surviving and not living, but I was trying to be strong for my other kids.
Right.
And they explained to me, Mom, she's gone. And one thing, if a person can promise you $1 million, but one thing that you're promised is death. So I was, doing a lot of things, trying to be strong for them. And they kind of, coached me back to, Mom, you need to live your life. So, that helped me. And that's how I was able to meet my fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else want to chime in and answer any of this? I think Andre said, I mean, Coach, I'm sorry, Coach, I forgot. Dr. Hendon said, great point, Wanda, great point. You want to say something about it, Glenda, before I talk?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to say, I mean, because I feel like everybody has their own strength or their own sense of values as far as what they feel is important. You know what I'm saying? I won't remain the babysitting kind, but I was the kind that felt like if someone needed something that I can assist them in it financially or whatever, then I felt like that was my role.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, and the reason why I waited to speak, because I listened to you guys talk, and it started first by saying, that maybe her fun was that the person that did it found ways to release themselves and took time out and went to movies, something like that, and did it. And I'm glad Annette brought those examples up, because that's encouraging. Somebody's going through what Annette said or going through now. They know now, and they hear Annette say they can take time out and go to movies like that, and that's encouraging, and that's great. And then Wanda came on and said she raised 7 kids, and she said that was fun. She felt like she was doing what she needed to do, and she found joy in that. And then she talked about the last piece at the end. But even when Wanda said that her kids, the people that she was taking care of, came and coached her back and said, "Hey, mom, wait, whoa, slow your roll. Here's some things that you can do." And in that, she found a partner, or she found a new. I think it was also a lifestyle change, because I think not just a new partner, but a lifestyle change, because for her to take time out to find a romance like that, I'm sure it was a lifestyle change in there somewhere. So, and then Sharon said that she see that she'll reach back and help anybody, because that's something she feels that she need to do. And what I want to say is that there's 3 different scenarios to that one example Coach Glenda just gave. And what I'm saying here is, we don't always have to be the one that do it all.
Right.
We don't have to always volunteer. Hey, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. I got
Right.
it. We don't have to always be we don't always have to be the first or the only answer. We don't have to always be the first and the only answer. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You can have fun doing it, and it could be fun, and it could be your way of life. But I want us to broaden our horizon. I want us to realize there's other options. I want us to not just kill our own resources every time. How can we make this a win-win for everybody? A win-win for you, the win-win for the people you're taking care of, and a win-win for the situation. Everybody can grow and blossom at the same time. Because this scenario here, this 20 years that this young lady, Angela, took care of her mother and her children, and her whole life was that. That's what, if you measure her life right now, and it was joy and the wonderful parts about it, all that's great. But her life is measured there. It's there, and that's great, but could it have been more? That's all I'm saying. Could it have been more? Were there other options?
I think for someone in a situation such as what we're saying, or what you're trying to say here, is that that person, or whomever, they need to understand that although they would be they feel like they see the need to be able to help someone or do what needs to be done, but they should also understand that it should be a shared situation.
Correct.
They shouldn't take the whole weight.
Right.
Share the weight. And it's okay to say, I can do this now, but later I can't. We got to get somebody else to help, or can someone else help me do this, or can we do so and so and so. We just need to lighten the load. I guess it's a matter of allowing, because there's someone that's willing to help somewhere. It's just that you go say, "Oh no, I can do it, I got to do it." No, but allowing someone else to step in to help us. And
Right.
they might not do it like you would do it, because you might think, "Oh, if I don't do it, it's not going to be done right," but it's going to be sufficient. We need to understand that, and we need to step back and say, okay, let somebody else help us do whatever needs to be done.
Right.
That's what I think.
That's excellent. And here's another part of that. If you always jump in and say, I got it, let's say you come from a family of 5, and mom needs your elderly mom needs care, and you always say, I got it. The other 4, they're off the hook.
Right.
I shouldn't say they're off the hook, but the other 4, if their heart is not into taking care of mom, they go and living their life, spending their resources doing other things, where they say Angela got it. Angela got it. Hey, no, they said, why are you not helping your mom? Angela got it. She don't need no help. She got it. And it let them off the hook. It gives them a false sense of, hey, that my sister got it, where really their sister probably could need some help. In a sense, they should have shared that.
Right.
I've seen real life where some people depend on the other siblings to say, I got it, because they hold back. They don't say anything until the whole thing's taken care of. Then they say, if y'all hadn't done it, I'd have done it. So that's all I'm saying there. You got to realize something. You have to survive too. You have to live too.
Right. And I did want to chime in to say, I know for myself, one of my mottos has been for the past, lately, I'll say maybe 2-3 years, because a lot has happened in my family between my sister and my parents, and recently my brother. Do what you can do, and what you can't do, I can help you with. I can't do it all. And I had to start to fall back because the pressure got too heavy. And when I had to go through sickness in my body, surgeries and healing and recovery, I was, it got to the point where I had so much weight. It was like, oh, I need to pull back, because I would not be able to heal properly trying to take care of myself, and then try to manage and help them. So I had to, let my family and friends know, mostly my family, you know, do what you can do. And when you can't figure it out, or you need some additional assistance, or you need a second set of eyes on something, then reach out to me, because I can help you and assist you, but I can't do it all by myself. It takes a team effort, because for me, most of my family is long distance. So we got to either use FaceTime, we got to use the US postal system, we have to use conference calls, we have to, for business to get taken care of, which once again, I don't mind, but there are some things you can do for yourself versus calling me first, because I don't want to burn out to where my health starts to decline trying to help you out, because that's not fair to me. And now that I'm recently married, I'm pulled in another direction. I don't want my husband to feel, neglected, or feel like he's on the back burner because I'm still being pulled over here to family. But, things are coming together. Everything is working out fine. But I had to recognize for myself and let my family know, hey, do what you can do, and what you can't do, then reach out to me. Because I don't mind helping, but I don't want to spread myself so thin that I start to feel some type of way, because I don't want to feel resentment. I don't want to feel any regret that I poured more so in everybody else, and I sat up there and let myself suffer. So when I do get my downtime, I get my personal time, I go get my hair done. I go get my nails and my feet done. I get me and my husband's nails and our feet done. We have our, sometimes it's not every Tuesday night, and it's not every Friday night. We have our Tuesday night movie night. We have our Friday night date night, because I don't want us to lose ourselves in everybody else's issues, their problems, their situations, because I don't want us to suffer physically, because if we go down and you already down, nobody can help nobody. So that was my take.
So anybody got anything to say based on what Coach Glenda just said?
There's a few comments in the chat. It says family
Let me say this first, Coach,
okay,
before you go into that.
Okay.
Coach Glenn said one side of the equation.
Okay.
She said she woke up and realized she can't do it all herself, and I'm not saying she did pushback. She asked for more coordinated help from the family, from other people in the family.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person on the other side that feel bad when they can't do it all. When their health fail and they can't do it all, they feel bad. They feel they let somebody down. They feel like, oh no, I just give me a couple of days rest. I'm coming back. I don't want to let you down, and it hurts them bad when they can't do it all, when they let somebody down. They feel like they've lost. They feel so out of it. I let them down. I couldn't do it. They carry a burden. That's the other side. Coach Glenn is on the side that, okay, hey, hold up. Let's push back a little bit. I need some support. It's a combined effort. Where there's the other person that say, hey, they feel bad when they can't do it. They feel guilty because they couldn't do it. They feel like they let somebody down. As a matter of fact, some people get depression and grieve in the fact that they couldn't get it all done themselves. So go ahead. What you got in chat? Let's talk about that.
Do you know anybody that feel that way right now, Coach Carpenter?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm one of them. Shoot. I'm one of them. Shoot. Yes, I'm one of them. Sharon Fox says she got a twin the same way. Yeah, well, she can't help somebody. As a matter of fact, I know her twin. Her twin will give them her car, her house, her twin. Goodness. That's what I was saying when I was saying that her twin. Oh, goodness gracious. If you want somebody her family close to her, tell her you need a car. tell her you can't pay your bills. I'm telling you.
Well, that's
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's beautiful. Oh, but I'm a firm believer. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I think Sharon wants to talk.
Oh, okay. You didn't read my other comment either than the other one. But I'll just say it. I hate when somebody think because you don't have a schedule or something like that, that you always available and willing to be the step-in person in the family. I'm talking about family.
And when you
now.
say a schedule, you mean when you don't work?
Yeah. Well, get her. She'll do it. Well, she got time.
Yeah.
She ain't doing nothing but
right. Yeah, I don't care for that either, because people think because I work remotely that I can do whatever I want to while I'm on the clock, and I said no, I'm still being held accountable while I'm on their clock. So, I can't, just go to the grocery store. No, it don't work like that. I'm being highly monitored while I'm at work, even though I work from home. But you're absolutely right. People will try to take advantage of you, whether you work a job or whether you work remotely or just whether if you're retired. People think you can do everything, and it isn't fair. And that's why I had to start doing pushbacks and make it known to family and friends, hey, do what you can do, and what you can't do, then let me know and I can, help you out, because I don't want to get burned out, because it's consequences to getting burned out. Because if you're already down and then I get down, okay, I'm aging just like you. I have a birthday every year just like you. My body is going through changes. I'm aging, you never know what happens, but you have to take in consideration the other person. I don't want to put all this weight or this burden, or some people call it burden, some people don't, but I don't want to put all this weight on this other person, because I don't want them to get sick or them to start feeling some type of way. And then when people get burned out, that's when you get blocked. That's when your calls and your text messages get ignored, because people like, I need a break. And they're so into you, they won't tell you before it gets to that point. They'll start doing stuff because they're just tired and frustrated. But you don't want that to be you. You just need to have some type of balance to where, hey, when you hit that hurdle or that hard stop that you can't go any further, then reach out to me. But some of this stuff, like if you get a correspondence in the mail, usually most legitimate correspondents have a number you can call customer service and find out what it is. And then, because if we're in two different states, I can't really interpret the letter just by you reading it to me. Call the people, the number on the back of the correspondence, and then if you still don't understand what you're saying, say, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna have my daughter or my sister or my cousin or somebody on the line to help me understand what this is before I sit up here and say yay, nay, or make a decision I may regret later. So you do have to have some type of balance in your life so you can have a healthy lifestyle, work-life balance, even family work-life balance. Okay. Did anyone want to provide any more comments or want to chime in with their thoughts? Oh, I did, going back to Annette's original comment. I don't know if you missed it or if, you did hear it, but the reason why the lady in our example, Angela, she couldn't answer the question when she was asked, what do you enjoy doing? Sometimes when you live or do so much for everybody else, you forget yourself. And, this could be a scenario where she was just starting to, go out on a date or somebody showed her some interest and they just asked her a basic question like, I would like to take you out on a date. What do you like to do for fun? And and she really sat back and thought about it and said, I don't even know. Mentally, she said she doesn't know. Well, she responded. Well, no, she didn't respond. She said she couldn't answer. The example said she couldn't answer. But in her mind, she's thinking to herself, like it says, she realized she hadn't lived for herself for over 20 years. She
And that
and she's been doing for everybody else for so long, she doesn't even know what she like to do or if she does like doing anything.
and that's the same scenario that Wanda's children told her.
Right.
Said, Mom, look, hey, let's help you out. There's life out there with your name on it.
Right.
And here's what some of that looks like.
Right.
And apparently she listened and she was rewarded and benefited from it.
Right. Right. Okay. Let's go on to example number two.
Sharon was going to say something while you were talking.
Okay.
Sharon, go ahead, Sharon.
No, I didn't have nothing to say.
Okay, because your light came on, so that's why I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
All right, you good.
Okay. So we have another example I would like to share. Nicole, age 36. Nicole survived a painful divorce. She immediately focused on work. She stayed busy, picked up extra responsibilities, told everyone she was fine. Years later, she realized she had never actually healed. She had simply became very good at surviving, putting up a front, faking it until she can make it. Now, does that sound like you, or do you know someone in that? Do you know someone that is going through that right now? Now, I know that was me. When I was going through my divorce, I worked all the time. I just poured myself into work. And, I kept making excuses for myself. People kept, putting labels and started saying all types of stuff. I'm a workaholic. Yeah, but it kept me focused and it kept my mind occupied. But when I did get home by myself and I was around the children, that's when everything started to hit me all over again. So I really never healed. It took a long time. Actually, I didn't start healing from my divorce until I moved to Georgia from Virginia. And it still took some years. It wasn't immediately after I moved. It was years later because everything was still new. I was still settling into my new lifestyle, trying to get my youngest son, comfortable and stable because of the split between me and his father. One son was with the father and the other son was with me. So it was a life-changing event for both of us. But I poured so much into my job that, I did lose myself because I was trying to make sure I was paying all the bills. I was making sure we had our necessities. Really wasn't about wants. It was about having the necessities, having a roof over our head, a transportation that I had to keep running when, the car broke down, keeping up the regular maintenance, doing it all myself. Okay, let's see what we have here in the chat. That was me when I lost when my last husband died in 2019 and the loss of my daughter in 2020, I became, yep, exactly. You can relate. Exactly.
Coach Glenda, let's put the kickstand down right here.
No
In
problem.
this example you just shared with us. Let's put the kickstand down. Now I'm gonna get you to read it again. And the reason why I get you to read it again, and I want to put the kickstand down right there, because the night objective, the whole objective, when you told me the night objective, you said it was to get people to recognize survival mode. And you told me that you wanted people to understand how survival mode affects relationships. And you also told me you wanted to get the people that in that survival mode are going through something like this divorce scenario, you want them to reconnect with themselves. And most importantly, you shared that you want them to live intentionally, not surviving, not just trying to mask the pain with daily duties. You want them to live intentionally in deciding what they want out of life, what their next move looks like. So let's talk about that, because I think if we can help some young lady or some young fella or some older lady or some older fella how to get through this right here, because I think a lot of us have been scarred right here. And this is where a lot of us have our trauma, because I've been divorced. You said you've been divorced, and a couple of people on the line said they're divorced, and none of us talk good about it. So we found, things to do, or we found our way through, or like old people say, we muddled through it. So how can we help somebody going through that right now? How can we help somebody that's gonna go through it right now? Let's give them some advice. Let's give some help. Because I think Wanda had a long text in there about something, and I saw parts of it. So how would you help? What would you tell a person, or how would you help a person, or how would you coach a person? An audience you can coach too and help and participate. How would you help a person going through the scenario? Read the scenario one more time, Coach, or say it one more time, and then we're going to talk about just how do you help that person bridge? How do you help that person get from a happy marriage or a tore-up marriage, divorce, and back to themselves where they're now functioning adults? How do you get them back to functioning where, for instance, Wanda said her children had to coach her back into having a relationship again. So how do we do that? Let's work on just that for a little bit, okay? I can't hear you, Coach Glenn. I think you're on. I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Give me a second. Okay, we have Nicole, age 36. Nicole survived a painful divorce. She immediately focused on work to stay busy. She picked up extra responsibilities, told everyone she was fine. Years later, she realized she had never actually healed. She had simply she become very good at surviving. She was just faking it until she could make it.
What advice or what coaching, or how people in the audience, how would you help this person get to that level, get to that next bridge and that next step of their life where they're actually functioning now? Where you bridge that gap from that divorce to back to where they're having great relationships again. They're living intentionally now. They're no longer in survival mode. Go ahead, Sharon. And I would say Anna or Sharon, who's up?
Well, Sharon was up there. I don't know if Sharon went to go.
No, I don't have nothing to say.
Were you going to
say? I would think that, in a situation like that, if I'm thinking about it now, maybe instead of you probably got to work to probably make ends meet or something like that. But I think a person should just probably take time off from work, as well as separating from the divorce, getting the divorce, separating, or whatever it is, but also take time off from work too. Take some time off if they could afford it or whatever, to just be themselves, to go away and do something totally different or whatever they need to do for rest, relaxation, or to re-energize differently without it being divorce or without it being work, just self. I think that could be something they could do, and do it maybe not just a one time, maybe actually say, I'm going to do it maybe 1 month or maybe 3 months later or a couple of months later or whatever, just so that they can get into the routine of doing different things besides the work or besides talking to being with someone locally or whatever. Just get away and do something totally different, like an escape or something. I don't know.
Okay. Any more comments? We call that one time away from the situation. We'll call that one.
Well, my situation stemmed from my first marriage. My husband cheated on me and had another baby, and I was living in Illinois with him. And after the situation with another baby, I came home with family and friends, and I mean, it was just a relationship I had to get out of because I thought we was faithful and the marriage was great. And to get a slap in the face that you've been out here cheating, I came back home to Virginia, and that way I had the people I needed to talk to and all of that. So I just escaped the whole situation, and I did allow him to have a relationship with my son.
Okay. Now, if you had to coach and you don't have to answer, but I'm just saying this out there. If you had to coach yourself at that time, if you look back right now, you had to go back and coach that Wanda that was in that situation, and not just you, I'm just saying it. What would that look like? What that conversation look like to Wanda back then?
That basically, I mean, it's somebody for everybody, and he won't for me.
Got it. Got it. That's the key. Lift your head up and keep moving because his loss is someone else's gain.
Amen.
I think I saw somebody else light up. Who someone else lit up? Hey, Kingdom, did you light up, Kingdom? Okay, somebody else. Okay. All right, let's give us some more. We got two so far. We got two good coaching tips. One coaching tip is to get away, take time away from the situation before you make some major decisions. And the other one is realize that somebody's for everybody. Mm-hmm. That's not, it's just more than one fish in the sea. Mm-hmm. At times you just caught a bad fish and threw it back. Now you can go back and fish for the good fish. So let's give some more, quick. So this is something that happens every day. Let's give some more coaching.
Okay.
Let's give some more coaching. My thoughts would be, first thing is find out what's your priorities. What's important to you? What are your priorities? What vision do you have for your own life? What do you see? How do you see your life in the next 3 years, next 2 years, next 5 years? What are some of the things that you didn't achieve when you were married that you wish you could have achieved?
Right.
Because even if you're helping your husband or your wife with their dreams or their vision or the vision of their family, you still have you. You're still an individual. Yes, you're a union with your husband or your spouse or your wife, but you're a creative person. God made us all to be creative. What are the things that turn you on? What are the things that light your fire? What are the things that give you passion? So my suggestion would be look inward and see what are some of the things that you okay. Hi, Mr. Kingdom, we miss you. Oh, okay. Oh, I want to read that. I thought I'd read something about this.
I thought I was feeling the privately.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you didn't know. Everybody saw that. But no problem. You good. But anyone else want to talk about just this scenario right here on what kind of advice you would give that woman that went through this painful divorce and she burned herself and everything, but moving forward?
Well, I know for myself, how I started pouring back into myself. I realized that I was a priority. I was just as important as the other person in the relationship. And I started doing little things for myself. Like I said, I moved from Virginia to Georgia. I got new friends. I started hanging out with positive, healthy people that would, that was pouring back into me, that was motivating and encouraging me to do better and to help me get out of the slump that I was in. And I truly believe that who you surround yourself around, who's in your immediate circle makes a huge difference. Because if you're around a lot of depressed and broke down folks, you're gonna continue to stay broken and depressed. But if you're around, whether they're married or whether they're divorced, if somebody can give you something positive to think on, to help you get to your next step. And I know that for me, when I surrounded myself with different and positive people, it was a change. A change came for me, that I was able to, oh, okay, my life isn't over. I'm not the only one that's going through. Somebody went through worse than I did and they survived. So I know I can survive too. So, being surrounded by positive, healthy people made a difference for me. And you do have to watch the people that are in your circle, because everybody that's in your circle don't have your best interest at heart. If they're broke down and disgusted, they want you to be broke down so y'all can have something to talk about. But eventually, being broke down and disgusted is not where it's at. You want to get to where I'm happy, I'm fulfilled, I'm positive, I'm motivated. You want to get to all of those positive adjectives that's going to take you to your next level. Because if you're always complaining, you're going to continue to be a complainer. Don't surround yourself around complaining. So for me, my coaching tool, or my coaching suggestion would be, for someone in this particular situation, is surround yourself with positive and healthy people that can help you get through your pain and let you see that your life is not over, and that there is a tomorrow. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
A lot of reasons. I think some of us are silent because we said we're not going to get married again, and we're not married, and we're not going to get married again. So that's why some of us are silent. But let's talk about another side of this. Let's talk about us that have boyfriend and girlfriends. That's dating and long time dating. Let's talk about that, because when you break up for those people, that's a pain too. That hurts you. A lot of times you have a lot, because we love so deeply. We're people that love deeply. And let's say boyfriend and girlfriend situation, or other than marriage situation, you break up with someone you had a long-term relationship with. You grieve there, it hurts too.
Mm.
What kind of advice do you have for that person? Anybody single on the line want to take that one? Nobody single on the line want to take that one? Anybody married on the line want to take that single one? And the reason why I say that, because a lot of us love so deeply. And I've heard people, man, we've been going together like this, and she just dropped me, or he just dropped me. My whole world ended. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do.
What I will say, Coach Carpenter, that has a lot of variables in it. Because when I think back on my 15-year relationship, I mean, and when we decided to call it quits, whoever, I was the one who initiated, but either way, my thing was, ain't nothing happened in 15 years. So by the time it got to the breakup point, my heart and mind was clear. Because I'm like, if you couldn't have done what you wanted to do in 15 years, I don't even see or understand how this breakup is gonna affect you, or it's gonna hit you hard. I can't grip that thought for the other person. And I do believe you that they may feel some type of way, because they probably thought that y'all would never break up. But at the same time, if I wasn't worthy enough to be your wife within 15 years, and you couldn't step your game up in 15 years, how can you actually be upset with me or be hurt or devastated when we call it quits? You had all this time, and what did you do with it? So I look at relationships a little differently than a marriage, because when you get married, you got assets to cut. You got children to split. It's a legal transaction, more or less. But for a girlfriend and boyfriend, I'm like, we ain't gotta go to court for this unless it's for the kids.
Audience, help me out. Audience, help me out. Because
Please.
Coach Glenda having well, after listening to Coach Glenda's talk, I'm getting the impression that she haven't come into a relationship as a non-married person, but a not married person in a relationship where the relationship is everything. And when it break up, it's a hole in your heart, a hole in your life. Let's talk about that. Anyone have shared that or seen that, know anything about that type of relationship?
What you said, repeat that, Rufus.
If you listen to Coach Glenda, she talked about the 15-year relationship she had. She said that when the 15 years were over, it was over. Wasn't nothing there. Did nothing happen. Nobody upset. Just, okay, next. But let's talk about
say nobody was upset. I didn't say nobody. I mean, I wasn't upset because I was in my straw. The other person was.
Okay. Now I want to talk about the flip side where you're in a relationship with somebody and you're not married, you're just in a relationship and y'all been kicking it or whatever, how you want to say it, and y'all really deeply in love with each other. And a relationship, y'all break up for whatever reason. And a relationship's not going any further. Talk about that. Is there a hole in your heart? And talk about that type of relationship now.
You got me confused, Rufus, because you said y'all deeply in love and y'all break up. I mean, if you're that much in love, you think you'll work it out.
Not necessarily. I've seen a lot of relationships that are deeply in love and broke up.
Why they break up?
That's what I'm talking about.
There's different reasons.
Give us an example so we can respond accordingly.
Okay, one, not a good fit, cheating. Let's say let's say different vibrations or different goals in life. Let's say deeply in love, but you're not compatible in the fact that you want this and they want that. They don't mix, but your heart's still in love. There's a lot of reasons.
But before you got to that point, those issues were probably already discussed in a relationship. I will hope somebody spoke up because I know I did. And I will always get the same, I'm going to do better, Glenda. I'm going to do better, Glenda. I'm going to do better. I mean, everything go good for 2 weeks and then you go back to your old behavior. So after 15 years, I said, all right, I can't take no more of this. So
okay, because I can't be the only one that's seen this happen before. Everybody online like.
No, I mean, when you started breaking it down as far as saying that y'all had different goals or something like y'all weren't compatible, but you still loved each other. Now I can relate to that, but the part I can't relate to is, I mean, I feel like Linda feel after 15 years, I ain't mad about nothing if we split up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's in a relationship, and we're not talking about marriage. You're right. After 15 years, if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, or could have done, or had the potential to do, what is that? What was there for me to be upset about? Now, if you upset, it's because you was really into me and you thought it was never gonna. But I wasn't trying to be your long-term or lifelong girlfriend. I told you out the gate, I had a desire to be married, to be a wife. I didn't never sign up to be a 25-year girlfriend. And since that's what you were trying to go in that direction, I chose to bail because that's not how I wanted my life to end. I knew that there was more. When I realized that I could have more, I deserve more, I called it quits.
Okay, but my thing, I just wanted to say there's another side. When that love is deep, and when you break that person, some people grieve.
So it sounds like you've been through this before. So how about you go ahead and answer your own question? Because I'm so lost.
I can understand what he's saying.
Okay, please.
Because what he's saying is that there's a difference. It's one-sided. It's not a two-way street. You know, in that type of relationship, it's not that they both love each other. Someone love and someone use is a love and you being used situation. It's not a we both in love. I love you and I love you. That's not what's happening. Is someone is in love and someone in that relationship is using the other. That's what's happening. And it takes that in love person to break the relationship. That using person does not break the relationship. That in love person says, I've had enough. This is it. And that using person do sob and they do hate for it to end because they're losing a good thing.
They losing a resource.
They losing a good thing. But that in love person is really hurt. That in love person, no, they just got to wash it away and let it go, because
get ready for the next one. Get ready for the next one. Do
well,
better next time around.
They can't just go to the next one because they are really hurt. They're stuck for a while. It takes a while before they can move on.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, and eventually, but it takes a long time. It takes coaching for that in love person to understand that they're going to be okay. I know what he's saying.
Okay. Thank you for schooling me, because I'm lost. I mean, I feel like if you get, how can you keep sewing into somebody and they don't sew back into you after so long in a relationship? When is enough enough?
Because you believe what you believe.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yep. So you're in survival mode. Okay. Anybody got anything else to say? If not, then we can bring this one home.
Anybody want to share any additional thoughts? Well, Coach Carpenter, if you don't mind, because there was some other questions in the content that we didn't cover, can we make this a part 2 next week? Would you mind if we make this a part 2 next week? Audience, do you mind? Do you mind? Please let me know. Do you mind this being a part 2?
Based on
It's additional content that we haven't gone over tonight. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind in that case.
This was a good topic. It's cool.
Okay, thank you.
And I tell you what, let's get a little bit more of that piece where they're not married, they're in relationships, because a lot of us on this line aren't married and in relationships, and we're in a relationship with people we love, or at least we got a lot of investment in, and we want to talk about that for a little bit.
Okay, so you want
fair enough?
Okay, you want to talk more on the relationship piece of it.
Yes, fair enough.
Yes, we can do that. All right. Thank you so much. The goal isn't to regret the years you spent surviving. Those years represent your resilience and the strength that carried you through those difficult seasons. The invitation now is to recognize that survival was a season, not your identity. Today, you can begin choosing a life marked by intention, peace, joy, and hope instead of merely enduring each day. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Sunday Night at 9 with Coach Glenda, your Rise Again woman. I'll see you next week at the same time. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody.
Okay, Coach.
Good night.
Call me
Rufus.
Good night.
Happy belated
All right, everybody.
July.
Thank you. Same to you.
I heard you.
Yes.